Jesse Turner on pole as we are set to begin the 2017 DuPont World Series of Racing season. Turner in the number 82 Red Bull alongside Dylan Young as the pace car rolls off. When the pace car rolls off, the green flag is waved and we are underway. Welcome to 2017. Jesse Turner got a fantastic start in the 82. He is the leader coming off turn number 2. Vincent Allen with a good start as well up to second place, as Dylan Young did not get a very good start. He falls to third. Turner looking to lead the first lap of the season. Into turn number 3 and 4. Vincent Allen getting a big run into 4, but cannot get to the back of the 82 as Turner pulls ahead. Coming to start finish line, it is Jesse Turner, the pole sitter, who will lead the first lap of the day. Whoa, Trouble DJ Curtis is around in 3 and 4, and he's going to merge into the pack, into Max and Block and Seth Cole on lap number 2. They were racing very aggressively in a pack, and on the second lap of the season, Curtis got hooked by somebody. Looked like one of the Esther Motorsports cars, but DJ Curtis, his season opening day is done. Several cars involved: Seth Cole, Michael Block, Eugene DeMax, and I think one of the Saitomi cars got involved somehow, as Alan Cavanero is on pit road. As we look at it again here, we're going to see what happens. We see DJ Curtis, that's the 24 of Gene Sanford. She just comes up right into him and just hooks him around. And this is where it gets bad, as what goes up, what must come down. And honestly, that probably should have been a larger crash than it was, but what a tough opening day for a lot of these guys. I don't think a lot of people were expecting a lap 2 crash. On board with Gene Sanford here. Ooh. Yikes. It looks like the 24 got tied off 3 and just got into the 19 and couldn't get off him. We saw Alan Cavanero on pit road. Apparently this was the reason, as Cavanero got hooked into Ian Dutta and comes right back into Bobby Jones and had to pull his car back to pit road. They were racing back to the caution flag. So let's see, Cavanero I think he was trying to get past Charles Sanford, and I think Dutta might have hooked him, but we'll have to get another onboard. Onboard Matthew Fuller, who was right behind the incident. Ooh. Yikes. It looked like Cavanero was racing Sanford hard and was trying to pass him, but they were past their finish line, and Dutta didn't do anything wrong. Cavanero just moved over into him and pretty much wrecked himself. We got problems under pacing as Paula Thanos in the 98 Subaru car. She has blown up in the Vodafone Subaru. That was out of nowhere. It's randomly just pacing, coming to pit road, and the 98 just let go, and Paula Thanos, the Greek driver who is competing for Rookie of the Year, this is not the start she wanted. She's only going to make it around 3 laps. Well, tough break for her. She's had some pretty solid seasons in Division 2 the last couple of years, but looks like she's going to have to wait till next week to have a proper run. Well, that was quite the explosive start, but regardless, coming back to the green, Jesse Turner still the leader. The top 9 did not pit. Everybody else came in to top off. Turner gets a good start, but so does Deanna Shelton. She's going to have a huge run momentum into turn 1, and she's going to get next to him. Deanna Shelton in the 5 for S3 Motorsports. She had a really good 500 here last season. Came close to winning it. Just didn't have the car at the very end, but she does make the pass for the lead as Sean Galligan in the 44 going to give a push to the 5. Galligan with a huge run to turn 3, dives into the 5, makes contact for the lead. And Galligan with a very aggressive move. He's going to go from 3rd to 1st in 1 lap. That was maybe a little bit too aggressive. It's lap 10, but either way it worked. Galligan's going to lead the lap. Here's the 43 of James Shelley. He was the Saitomi car we mentioned that got involved in that crash, and the car is missing a hood, and it looks like it met the pit wall, but Shelley continues to, well, sludge on, but tough break for Shelley. This isn't how you want to start his day, but at least he hasn't retired, as we have about 6 cars already retired from the race. Before we came to the green flag, Corey Williams pulled his 38 car off to pit road. Apparently they had a suspension failure, so the 38 team for Roush Racing, they are going to have to retire early. Deanna Shelton now getting to the back bumper of the 44 again. I don't think she really appreciated the move Galligan put on her into turn 3 a few laps ago, but regardless, I think she's going to go right past him. And you can see Sean Angel in the 45. We'll get to him in a moment. But Shelton, she is going to clear the Englishman into turn 3. Galligan will try to fight on the outside line, but Indy's a very tough place to get that middle line working. Typically it's a 1-groove racetrack, but we have seen cars be able to use the middle outer area to defend. That's going to be a major factor in today's race for sure. Sean Angel in the 45 from Canada in a much different car than probably what we're used to, as Sean Angel and Humper Motorsports probably had one of the most interesting off seasons we've seen in quite some time. When the big off season blockbusters was that Ian Dutta decided to not renew his contract with Humper Motorsports, a team he won the championship with in 2015. They let him go, and in response they hired Sean Angel. And during the off season, Glacier, which contained Sean Angel and Jordan Smith, they decided to leave the series altogether to focus on endurance racing. They took Smith with them, but they let Angel go, and Humper Motorsports bringing the Canadian on board in the 45 car. This used to be the 59 car that Fitzwater drove, but now Fitzwater has taken over the 55's duties. So, going to be an interesting season for Angel, how he performs in this Harpool car. That Glacier team really did not perform the last 2 seasons. And Sean Angel winning last year's Race of Legends might have saved his career in a way as well. And so far it's paying off. He's passing Sean Galligan for 3rd place here. Another off-season shakeup that a lot of people I don't think predicted was Satsuki Yakajura, as you can see in the Audi for Texan Audi Motorsports. Funny story for her, she was actually supposed to run another Division 2 season with the Fingai Saitomi team, as she is their developmental driver. However, what happened was Texan Audi, when they let Collard go, they needed a young hotshot driver according to their sponsor. The sponsors at Texan Audi wanted a hot young shot driver to be a part of the team to help with brand recognition and stable sponsorship, as Texan Audi went to a 3-car team last year. So they made a call to Fingai Saitomi Motorsports and said, hey, we need a driver, we'll foot the bill. We just need Satsuki. And Saitomi, they said yes, so I don't think anyone predicted her to be a Texan Audi driver, but she is on loan for 1 year. That is the official contract. Next year she will return to Fingai Saitomi Motorsports and will most likely compete for the championship with them in her sophomore year. And one more note, Joshua Collard in the 42 pictured here next to her. he was the driver. Texan Audi pretty much let go, and Fingai Satomi were the ones that picked him up. So basically, in a way, Texan Audi and Fingai Satomi Motorsports, they pretty much just traded drivers for a year. You gotta love off seasons, and you gotta love the silly seasons. We mentioned Ian Dutta earlier, and here he is in the Honda for the Maximum Overdrive Motorsports Honda team. Try saying that 5 times fast, but when Ian Dutta decided not to re-sign with Harpo Motorsports, he needed a new team, and the team that was willing to put him in was Maximum Overdrive Motorsports Honda, or, well, Max Over Honda for short. They bought the charters that Glacier left behind, and they also brought a new manufacturer of Honda with the Honda Accord. Honda was in the Cup Series before the merger happened a few seasons ago, but they have not really been back since, but here they are with a 2-car team. Max Over Honda participated in the Division 2 Series for a couple of years. They were with Chevy and BMW then. Well, actually, I think just BMW now that I remember, but Dutta's a championship caliber driver, which adds a lot of intrigue to this team. A lot of people are curious to see how Dutta will do, but that damage he got with Cavanero on lap 3 probably is not helping them with many favors, but we'll see how this race progresses on. Dutta's a top-tier driver, although perhaps didn't have the best 2016. Sofia Vargas with a problem in the 84. The Argentinian coming to pit road. This is not scheduled. We're being told she has a flat on one of her rear tires, so she's coming into pit before she wrecks the thing, but she was running in 6th place. I'm not quite sure how she got that flat. We'll see if we can get a replay of it. We're being told that Josh Travel was involved in this somehow, so let's see. Ooh, Vargas comes down a little bit, and Travel drove in, and I think that's what cut the tire. Travel made contact with that quarter panel and might have clipped her tire. And now Vargas with the very dangerous merge into the 5. Vargas just now went 1 lap down. Yikes. I don't know what she was trying to do there, but now Vargas is going to have to fight to get up to Shelton and try to get her lap back before a caution comes out. Vargas going to have to start off today with some adversity, it looks like, but we'll see what she does. She did pit for tires, so she's going to have fresher tires by a couple of laps, which I think is going to help her in the long run here. Vargas gets a big run off turn number 4, as she's going to, fight for her lap back. Those fresher tires, I think, coming into play. These tires wear out pretty quickly. These tires are pretty much a soft tire compound for you open wheel fans out there. And they have to run these soft tires for the whole, pretty much, stint for each one. But Vargas, because of this, easily clears by the 5. She will have her lap back, but the problem is that she's going to be playing catch-up until a caution comes out, if one comes out. As ever since that crash, the field's mostly calmed down a little bit. Looking through the mid-pack here, we see Chris Louvier in the number 93. He's back in the DuPont Series of Racing full-time again. He spent the last couple years racing Division 2, winning a championship. And now he is with the Sanctum team. This Indianapolis track, with these cars, aerodynamics and engine power are the most key things there. As you've seen already, you have to pretty much get good runs off the corner and draft down the straightaways. It's almost like a champ car race or an open wheel, like the Indy 500. Although the draft not quite as powerful, but you need a very aerodynamic car and a very fast engine. These cars are reaching upwards of 200 miles per hour on the straights and having to slow to 170 in the corner, so mechanical grip's also a big thing. Let's see Vincent Allen in the 0 car, who pitted, so he had to drop back a little bit. He's with Satsky trying to work past Citadino. Coming up on the first pit stop, we look through the field as they pass by. Sean Angel up to second place now, trying to see if he can run down Shelton. But Jesse Turner, the pole sitter, who kind of fell back on that restart, he is now trying to get past the Angel. Makes a diving into 4, doesn't make it, and has to back off really tough into the corner. But Angel holds second for now, and his teammate Sean Galligan now going to go for third as he peeks out once. Will he peek out on Turner again? He does, makes a big dive into turn 1. That's the big thing about this track. Being a mostly one-group track, you have to make aggressive moves to make passes, and you have to make them stick. Oh, the battle for second getting a little bit antsy is Larry Petrov and Josh Travel making some noise coming up near the front. Petrov and Travel, they've been slowly working their way up as the 09 is smoking off turn 4 on the straightaway, and that's clogging up the entire line as everybody doesn't know what to do, and Petrov and the 09 for A4T blows up right as we're about to start the pit stops. And wow, that was fast. A4T, they have had some pretty rough days with engine blowups for the past couple seasons. They've done it in a lot of marquee races, and well, this is another one. Deanna Shelton, she's going to kick off green flag pit stops. In terms of the fuel strategy, this race is going to most likely be a 4-stop race with a possibility of a 3-stopper depending on how long this race stays green. But Shelton gives up the lead to come down pit road. Well, everybody came through pit stops quite cleanly, but Sean Angel has been black flagged for speeding on pit road right at the end of the first round of green flag stops. So Angel, he's going to have to come down pit road and pit again. He'd already pitted once before, but here comes the rest of the field too, who hadn't pitted. Tough break for Angel. He was up to second place at one point, but unless some miracle happens, his day might be over already. After the end of the first round of stops, Deanna Shelton is still your leader as Vargas comes off pit road. She had a few extra laps, so she came in, so she went for an extra couple of laps. But here comes the pole sitter, Jesse Turner, looking for the lead. He wants it back in the 82 car. That 5 car didn't exactly have a good pit stop. They had a 2-second lead that has now gone down to 0 as she falls to second. Turner takes the lead, and Vargas trying to stay in front of these two, praying for some kind of caution flag to come out. Green flag pit stops kind of separate the field a little bit, so the racing, while it was already calm, it's going to be, I think, a little bit more sane for a little bit as we look at Cody Lamas running just inside the top 10. Well, now that his teammate blew up, I think Vincent Allen might be getting some very bad flashbacks as the driver of the number 0 car for AFRT. Well, that was a pretty sad championship end for him in 2016 at Auto Club. Was battling Michael Cavanero directly for the title until his engine blew up in the final quarter of the race, and it was a very sad scene. But Vincent Allen, coming off a career season of 4 or 5 wins in 2016 and almost win the title, it was a great year for the 0 car, all things considered. But you have to imagine this driver's hungry. He knew he was a championship contender last season and probably was the best driver that year. And he's looking for a good start to the year. He is in the top 5 at the moment. Battle for the lead still commencing as the top tier battling. And look at Sean Galligan peeking out. He has a huge run into turn number 1. Is he going to use it? He throws it in there, but Turner has the faster, well, has the more efficient entry and holds on for now. Sophia Vargas now, you got to wonder what she's thinking. That's her teammate behind her. Does she let him go, or does she try to have Turner help push her? Because I don't think Vargas is one to accept defeat so easily. But here comes Galligan now, opening the door. He is going to dive for the lead. Vargas running her line, but the think she might help Turner out by running the outside, but she will not do that. Galligan takes the lead in the 44. So Sean Galligan in the 44, he is your leader. As these three have been pretty much trading positions for the past couple of laps. Sean Galligan actually manages to clear Vargas in turn 1, but Vargas with a huge head of steam using the crossover tactic on Galligan. Vargas is known for her aggressive style. She's not one to back down or quit, and you can see it here. She is going to fight Galligan as best she can, gives him a little bit of a whip into turn 3. She does have fresher tires by a couple of laps, so that's going to help her out, but she needs a yellow flag. And she is coming up on, I think that is James Shelley, who is a little bit off the pace in the 43. Fastest car on the racetrack is Jean Sanford. She is flying through up to the leaders. After that pit stop, she was just outside the top 10. Now she has slowly worked her way into the top 5. Now looking for third place from Deanna Shelton. And that 24, she is hauling it. Here comes Sanford. Right behind her teammate. Is she going to push her? And no, she will not. It looks like Sanford's going to try and move forward. You can see the engine power on that 24 is pretty good as she mows right past her teammate. Now looking for Turner for second place. She peaks low. Turner comes down. Sanford gives him a nudge, telling him, I'm right here. Better be careful. Let me go. Sanford, though, she pulls out in the straightaway. And look at the speed she's got down into turn 1. She is destroying Turner into turn 1. That 24 has got a very powerful engine all of a sudden. It just blew right by Turner like he was a lapped car. And now she's up to second place as she's trying to get past Bobby Jones, who's giving her a bit of a problem. But this 24, it just got really fast as this run went on, and she is coming up towards the front. She is in second, but now can she catch Sean Galligan, who is about 3 seconds up the road? We have reached the halfway point as we start the second round of stops, as Sean Galligan will surrender the lead to Jean Sanford. Whoa, trouble coming to pit road. Chabris, he's just barely going to miss the divider, but him and Allen are around, and the caution comes out right in the middle of green flag stops. Ooh, that was a close one. Chabris almost had a date with the divider and somehow managed to miss it. But what on earth happened there? Caution is out for this. Let's see, everybody's trying to, I think, slow down to get to pit lane. And you see Michaels cuts right in front of Chabris, and Allen comes right into Chabris. That was a bit bold. I'm not quite sure what Allen was thinking. I mean, he was coming to pit road, but he wasn't clear. Maybe he thought he got past Chabris when he actually didn't, but that almost just sent Chabris into a very bad accident, and now Allen's got left side damage. Well, that caution was timed perfect for Sofia Vargas. At the halfway point, she is back on the lead lap, and she is at the tail end of the field. Looks like Vargas is still going to have a say in this race. Coming to the green flag, Jean Sanford is your leader. And you can see a lot of cars got put one lap down. Satsuki Yakajura, Pollard, Fuller, Collard, Skabnicki, Dutta, and Block all one lap down. That green flag pit stop caution did not help at all. But we are back under green as the second half of the DuPont 500 continues on. Sanford goes by Block into one. Galligan now going to have to look to try and make the same pass. He does. He pulls it off very quickly. Sanford going to have to deal with lap traffic. We'll see how she does in it. She did manage to go from outside the top 10 to second place, so she's got a good car. But Galligan's going to be hounding her. Michael Cavanero has shown up in the 83 car. He's been running mainly outside the top 10 today, but he is now up to third. That caution helped him out. Pretty much everyone who hadn't pitted is up here in the front when that yellow got thrown. And it sent a lot of good cars to the back. As you can see, Sanford squeezing Dutta, trying to get past and trying to see if Dutta will let her go. But Dutta, I misspoke that. I thought Dutta was going to let Galligan through, but no, Galligan gets forced to the high side. As now Cavanero, the defending series champion, looking for second place. That caution really hurt Deanna Shelton. She had pitted. She was basically almost one lap down, and she went from 3rd to 19th, so tough break for Shelton. She's got her work cut out for her, but she's being passed by Joshua Michaels, so. And that 5 car doesn't look like it's the same car that was leading earlier. It looks like it's not handling very well. As you can see, Sofia Vargas now about to pass her, this time for a position. Jean Sanford disposes of most of the lap cars. Now she's got the 2 Texan Audi cars in front of her, who are now trying to do what Vargas did earlier and get a lap back. But Sanford, she has been probably the fastest car for the past 20 laps. As Sean Galligan still holding second, trying to get past Skavnicki, making some contact with him in the back there. We'll see how long Sanford can hold this lead. If she can do what she did on that last stint, I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to catch her. Oh, we got trouble! William Duncan and Charles Sanford into the wall. Whoa, looks like Duncan might have gone into Sanford, and whoa, okay, there's people down there. And Duncan with heavy right side damage. Duncan and Sanford, Charles Sanford, were battling for 12th, and that was not a... Try to see if we can get a better look of what happened with Duncan and Charles Sanford. Well, from that angle, it looks like I think Sanford might have had to check up for Kesten Rosengard, and Duncan just didn't react to it in time, and they just got hooked into the wall. Duncan and Sanford now pulling it down pit road. They are going to come down in pit to fix their damage, and I can't imagine Duncan's too happy with Sanford, and I can't imagine Sanford's too happy with Duncan. Charles Sanford running for Patriots Trophy this year. And I think Duncan might have thrown a bird. Sean Galligan and Michael Cavanero have actually been pushing each other, working together to catch Jean Sanford, who is having trouble getting past Satsuki Yakajur, who is constantly hounding her. And Galligan now opens the door, gonna go right past Sanford, with Cavanero pushing him. Satsuki and Pollard trying to hold on, trying to stay on the lead lap, with Galligan and Sanford and Cavanero fighting each other. It's going to be an easier job, but Galligan with a huge head of steam cuts right in front of Cavanero. That was pretty dangerous, and he's going to go right next to Yakajur, and is actually going to give him a much easier time. Huh. Well, I'm surprised because Satsuki was blocking Sanford on the straightaways, but not here, I guess. Not with Galligan. Now, that wreck that Sanford got into Curtis, that knocked out their teammate, Eugene DeMax, so hate to speculate, but perhaps they are not going to let Sanford forget what happened. Well, they merged out of pit road together, which is probably not a good thing. Sanford is not really the type to, well, get revenge, but, yep, and he just threw a bird out right back at you. Oh boy, this post race is going to be fun for those two, but Sanford does go by Duncan. I think Sanford might have maybe gotten the worst of it. I mean, the least worst of it, but Right now, they are both one lap down. Cybertron Motorsports, they're starting to make their mark here in the second half of the race. Josh Travel up to third place, with his teammate Sean Fibrosis following in just behind in fourth. Now last year, Fibrosis played the long con, waiting till the end of the race to unleash his full potential in his car, in which he basically went from 8th to 1st in a couple of laps and then won by like 3 seconds, but doesn't seem like Fibrosis is going to be as patient this time around, trying to go for the win. Zachary Fitzwater in the 55, he is making his mark as well. He is flying up through the field just like Gene Sanford was. Fitzwater was 15th, I believe, on that restart. He was 15th about 10 laps ago, but now he's in the top 5. That 55's got some speed. Zachary Fitzwater taking over the 55 for Ian Dutta, who left. Fitzwater is in a contract years, and he is driving for a specific part of the team that won a title 2 seasons ago. So right now, Fitzwater, he's got something to prove. He's only won 1 race, and it was back in 2014. So he has quite the winless streak, and he's trying to get a great run here today as he is fighting the defending series champion Michael Cavanaugh for third. Charles Jackson in the 54 for Mayoda Incorporated. We haven't talked about this team yet today. There has been some concerns about Mayoda Incorporated's financial situation. Apparently, from what we're being told, they barely had enough funding to do last season, so there's a lot of worry that this team is not going to be able to run the whole season. They have charters, so they're guaranteed a spot in every race this season except for the Race of Legends, which ironically both cars missed last year, but which lost them a big paycheck. Is Skabnicki making contact with Sean Angel? That was aggressive. They're both 1 lap down, but Jackson with his teammate Milton Campbell behind him, as you can see in the other Mayoda car. They're trying to get a points finish. We'll see if they can pull it off today. Sean Galligan, he will surrender the lead as he comes down to pit road for the second to last stop of the day. It is crunch time now, because from this point on, when the field next time pits, it's going to be roughly 10 laps to go. So things are about to get really, really nutty in this next stint. Gene Sanford coming off pit road, and she is way in front of Sean Galligan as the 24 team, with an absolutely stunning stop, puts her back into the lead by 2 seconds. What a stop for the 24 car. The average, typically most pit stops for these cars last roughly around 12 seconds. Sanford's team ran an 11-second stop compared to Galligan's, who ran a 13. So now the question is, with around 30 laps to go, 1 more stop is going to be needed. Can Sean Galligan catch Gene Sanford? Galligan does have warmer tires than Sanford's. Well, Sanford's got 1 lap fresher technically. But Galligan looks like he's starting to inch towards her, but this is the top 2, and they are way in front of everybody else. Into turn 3, you can see behind Galligan, I can't even tell who's in 3rd place. John Cittadino up to 3rd place. He actually pitted around 6 laps before Galligan pitted. So he actually made up a lot of ground because he pitted early, but this is where it's going to hurt him. He's got 6 laps older tires than Travel, who's right behind him. And as you can see, Travel's about to just plow right through him. But Cittadino's been running in the top 10 most of today. Trying to see if he can sneak a podium, but he's gonna have to hold on for quite a while for that to happen. 20 laps to go here, and Sean Galligan, with the help of some draft in the solid car, he has caught the 24. He made up a 2-second gap in around 5 laps, and now he is going to challenge her for the lead. You gotta wonder what the strategy's gonna be. We're being told Galligan's team plans to pit with 10 to go. And we're not quite sure what Sanford's going to do, so at the moment, unless the yellow comes out, it is going to be a 2-horse race for the win. As here comes Galligan, he's gonna peek out for the lead. You gotta wonder, what do you do in this situation? Do you come in, take 4 tires, or do you come in and just do a stop and go? Or perhaps take 2 tires? It's gonna be very interesting to see how they react to each other here. If Galligan takes 4 tires, does Sanford take none or just 2? Or if Galligan takes 2, then what does Sanford do? A lot of questions here. They're gonna have to be answered in these final couple of laps, but Sanford and Galligan, who have been 2 of the fastest cars of the day, it looks like unless someone can be a wild card here, it's going to be down to these 2, as they are far ahead of the 3rd place car. Currently, Michael Cavanero in 3rd place. He is the car who would most likely be a challenger towards those 2, but the problem is he's 4 seconds behind Galligan and Sanford, so if he's going to have to make up the gap, then it's going to have to require some help. Or if Galligan and Sanford take 2 or 4 tires, perhaps try and gamble and take no tires, but Cavanero running 3rd. Zachary Fitzwater running in 4th place, trying to see if he can catch Cavanero and go for a podium. And then Jesse Turner running in 5th place, picking up the top 5. With Josh Travel just behind. Satsuki Yakushiro is 1 lap down, but regardless, she is holding up well with the leaders, all things considered. Sanford and Galligan just cannot get away from each other. They continue to battle as we are coming to 10 laps to go. These 2 are very evenly matched. They keep passing each other left and right. And I think basically what's happening is that they're waiting for one or the other to make some kind of move on pit road before doing something themselves. Jean Sanford, she's being called down the pit road with just under 10 to go. Here we go. It is crunch time here. We're going to see what Sanford makes. What kind of call is her crew chief going to go for? I've seen crewmen over the wall with tires. Jean Sanford, she didn't really have a good qualifying position, so she's right behind the start-finish line. We're going to see what she does here. Right side tires. What is she taking 4? No, just gas and 2 tires. Sanford, the 2-tire strategy. We'll see if it pays off. We're going to see what Sean Galligan does. Will he take 4 tires or will he take none? Or perhaps copy what Sanford's doing? Galligan now coming to pit road. What does the 44 team do here? They have roughly 7 laps to go. I'm not sure. If they take 4 tires, that's a lot of time to make up in such a short amount of time. But we'll see, will it be 0 tires, 2 tires, or 4 tires? Is everybody else coming down to get their final stop of the day with only a couple of laps to go? Galligan into his stall. What is the 44 team doing? They've got tires. They're putting on tires. And it looks like it's going to be 2 tires, but the jack got stuck on the 44. The jack is stuck, and they finally got him down low. Oh no, Galligan, if you saw, the jack got stuck. The jack got stuck on the right side. Gene Sanford with roughly a 7-second stop. Galligan with a 9-second stop. And there goes Sanford. Sanford's going to fly right by Sean Galligan for the lead. And that might have sealed the deal. A critical error by the 44 team. And Sanford flies right on by him. They copied the same strategy with 2 tires. But Galligan's pit crew made an absolutely critical mistake. The jack just couldn't get unhooked. And I think that just sealed the deal for Sanford with just 5 laps to go. Oh, a stunning turn of events. And what a disaster for the 44 team. Galligan still holds second, but he is now 3 seconds behind Gene Sanford. And now he's got his teammate Zachary Fitzwater hounding him for the second place spot. Fitzwater also, like his teammate, took 2 tires as well. And how about a comeback, though, as we come to the final few laps? Sofia Vargas, after being half this race on the tail end of the lead lap, barely hanging on, she got a caution. She got put at the tail of the field on the last caution restart. And now she is in the top 10, running in 9th place behind John Cittadino. What a impressive comeback by this 84 team. We saw them running 6th place before they had that tire issue, so we know this 84 car is very good, but a very nice comeback for this 84 team, overcoming adversity, as some people say. By the way, Prudence Littlejohn just now got put 1 lap down in the Kit Pitt Motorsports Chevy. We haven't talked about Littlejohn today. She's actually she's pretty much run by herself for 90% of this race, but she actually hadn't gone 1 lap down till now. So, unless something happens, they're not going to get a points day, but currently in the top 25, so a very nice run by this Kit Pitt team. They've won a race before 2 seasons ago. I don't think anyone will forget about that one, but solid day for them. Coming to the white flag, it is Gene Sanford in the lead, in control, as she is put a heavy gap on the 44th Sean Galligan by over 2 seconds. She takes the white flag. Gene Sanford, definitely one of the fastest drivers of the day, and what an absolute stellar run for this 24 team. We saw the power this 24 car had when she got past Shelton and Turner, and she never slowed down from there. Sanford returned to full-time racing last year, scoring 1 win, but didn't do much else. This 24 team overall had a tough year. S3 Motorsports as an organization, 2016 was a year they'd like to forget. But coming off turn number 4, Gene Sanford with an unbelievable run and an absolute stellar job by the 24 team. She comes to the checkered flag. She will win the DuPont 500 here in 2017. A dominating performance by the 24 car. And that was a win that S3 Motorsports organization needed bad. Excellent job by Gene Sanford. She wins the 500 and will start off this year with a bang. Although, for some, probably not going to be a very popular win.